from Forum.com and BMOds.com, boys. What is going on? Good afternoon on this wonderful Wednesday. Welcome back to episode number 101 of The Lobby. As always, with me each and every week, Mr. Sam's in charge. Doesn't look like you need much of a haircut today, Sammy. You're looking pretty good over there.
Hey, looking at pretty good. I got the high and tight going, a little tip on the top. Always have the ability to play with the hair, unlike the other participants in the lobby.
Oh,
But actually, it's nice in upstate New York. We're getting 40s, a couple 50s days, enjoying the porch a little more. Rocked some karaoke last night. MLB action starts tomorrow. Sweet 16 starts tomorrow. Tons of action. And remember, NBA is still going on. NHL playoffs. We're only about 3 weeks away from the playoffs happening. The longest 2 months, but we're about to have it happen. So tons of action. Let's get it.
Speaking of action, I heard you slid into some DMs while intoxicated.
Wow.
Care to share a little bit about that last night?
Yeah, that's a pretty normal occurrence. They're on Instagram, a lot of people, they post their stories, so you just respond to those stories and see what happens. It's an easy way to engage in the conversation. I'm a big story poster. If anyone follows me on Facebook and Instagram, Bobby, I know you see them all the time. So I'm a big story poster, and that forces engagement to me, and I like to engage on the others.
So what transpired of that?
I mean, nothing transpired, basically, you're setting a bunch of seeds, you plant a bunch of seeds, you water the seeds, you do a little bit of work, you wait for them to grow into trees, and then you fuck the trees.
Very environmental.
Yeah. So right now we're still in the watering process. You have to wait for the seeds, to grow.
A wonderful analogy, Mr. Sammy. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Analogy.
Not bad, right?
Not bad at all. You read up one of the seats. Reload. Let's go over to you, buddy. What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm doing pretty well. I planted some seeds in the first 2 rounds of March Madness and got some winners. I did post those on the forum. We went 4-2 in both rounds with 6 picks in each. So I was happy about that. I've got to say, I usually am on the other side of that March Madness. Boy, I mean, I can't tell you how many tournaments have started with just getting buried, even just the first day or 2 days. Usually I'm on the other end of that. So it was nice starting off a winner there. And we're back here for the Sweet 16 and everything else coming.
Awesome. Glad to hear you're finally on the right side of a few games there starting out, Reload. That's wonderful. And last but not least, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Hey, man, good time of the year. Tomorrow, Major League Baseball in the afternoon, Sweet 16 at night, a fantastic sports day. But today, sometimes we have, interesting stories that we have. And you guys know I do a morning show and then a radio show right after that. We had an interesting occurrence today where a beat writer for the New York Giants tweeted out, and maybe you guys followed me on Twitter. I know Sammy does at that point, where the line was 3.5 for the team total on the Giants, even after was reposted there with Russell Wilson signing to be their starting quarterback. As soon as that tweet came out, I said, well, that looks like an odd number. Keep in mind, last year's Giants number with Daniel Jones and Drew Lock was 6.5 as their team total. So jumped on it right away, bet it, sent it out. Within hours, it was taken down, reposted at 4.5 with light juice, and it sits right now at 4.5 at minus 160. So the power of the people out here pushing lines around on an incorrect number, we love to see it sometimes. And sometimes it is true, like the early bird gets the worm. If I never saw that tweet around 7 a.m., I'm never interacting with that and being, I can't believe I missed out on that. But that number was wrong posted. Everybody got in, and even an alert came out from ESPN directly that said Giants fans hammering team total, which is hilarious. So good for the people out here. Get in on a good number out there.
Exactly right. Sammy, let's jump over to you. Little Sweet 16 action here. How was the first rounds for you, and what was your most memorable occurrence from the first round? What do you like?
Yeah, so nothing really crazy as far as upsets. It went pretty chalky. It went pretty much to form. We still have a chance for all 4 number 1 seeds to make it into the Final Four, which I think has happened one time. And right now, all 4 of those teams are big favorite. If you look at Florida, Duke, Auburn, and Houston, if you money line parlay them for the Sweet 16, it's plus 150. So, who is going to be the one to lose? Florida is the smallest favorite at 6.5. Everyone else is at least 8 to 9 points. I think Duke has the best chance to keep rolling. And then even every favorite in general, if you're looking at all 8 games for Thursday and Friday, if you put every single favorite to win, it pays 11 to 1. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on that. Right now, it's just going to form. There's no mid-major left in the tournament. Every mid-major, everyone that got the at-large bid or won their smaller conference was eliminated in the first 2 rounds. So really, you have all the major conferences and the major teams that are in the final 16. So it should set up for some great basketball. We're hoping for. There wasn't a lot of finishes. There was no buzzer beaters. Only one. No, I think there was
Maryland.
No overtime game.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, so almost an overtime game, only one buzzer beater with Maryland. So pretty disappointing, but hopefully that sets up more compelling, better matchups this weekend. But I'm going to stick with the favorites, all number 1 seeds plus 150, and then every favorite in the Sweet 16 at 11 to 1. That'll roll into the Elite 8. As far as the brackets go, I'm personally in 4 brackets. I have a chance in all 4, but so does everyone else because, again, all the major teams are in there. The only major upset was St. John's, and I personally had Kansas beating them. Now, it turned out that Arkansas beat Kansas, then Arkansas, beat St. John's. But other than that, all number 1s are in there. The 3s, the 4s, they're, and the 5s are all in play.
All righty, Sammy. Good luck with that. Donnie, over to you. Same question. How's the first round been? Any major upsets in your eyes so far?
It was a really good round here. Now, we used to, and we say like back in the day growing up, like the 80s and 90s, where some of those mid-major teams, like the 13s, 12s, 11s, and those seeds, they come out of those conferences and schools where they've been together 4 and 5 years, like redshirt seniors at that point, playing together with the same coach, able to pull off those upsets against maybe a one-and-done team. We don't see that now, but as Sammy pointed out, you do get a little bit of a push and a pull. Let's just say you were upset because there weren't any Cinderellas here. Well, the victor of the spoils there is once you get to the Sweet 16, it's all heavyweights. And that's fun to watch all the way through. Now, if you were just blind betting, like me in the past, to be honest, I used to take the points and praise my moniker once you get to the tournament. Take a good basketball team, get points on a neutral court. You're going to win more than you lose. Now, what we saw was those heavyweights favored anywhere between 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 points, handling their business against the mid-major and lower mid-major teams where you weren't getting that big pushback. I'm interested to see now with the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, is it an attack of the underdogs now where you're taking a look at underdogs like BYU, Maryland, Arizona, Arkansas, legitimate Power 5 conference schools. And day number 2, Mississippi, Kentucky, Michigan, and Purdue. Big-time schools from big-time conferences getting points. That's what I'm interested. But if you are just looking at the tournament right now, it's been a favorite tournament nonetheless. And keep an eye on this in the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. 3 of the 4 regions here are going to play in normal NBA/NCAA arenas. One of those is going to be played in a football stadium, and I'm interested to see the shooting angles and how that might affect some of those teams. So I love the Sweet 16 Elite 8 looks great, even though we didn't have all that much excitement in the round of 64 and 32.
Thank you, Donnie. Reload, over to you. Same question. Any big upsets, and how'd you do so far on them first round games?
Yeah, I did have some upsets. I was glad I was on Arkansas being over St. John's and all that. BYU was one I had as well. So nice to see some of the dogs bark. And in some cases, I was just cruising, didn't have to sweat anything. That Maryland buzzer beater killed the Colorado State money line. But other than that, it was a pretty easy sweat with the points. So, it's been rolling along pretty well here, and just looking forward to the rest. I think I'm in a good groove.
All righty, awesome. Thank you, Reload, for that. Guys, poker event number 3 is going to be coming out this Saturday, guys, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you hop on that. Get yourself some opportunity to win some free baller coins. Sammy, I've yet to see you involved in the poker. We have to change that here soon.
Yeah, it all depends on the night. I'm normally starting to drink at night, and then I forget to do things.
Don't we all? Donnie, let's jump over to you. MLB starting tomorrow. So what do you predict this season? What's your prediction this season, buddy?
I'm loving it. I love baseball. And we just talked about poker. Both poker and baseball are similar. It's a grind. It's all season long. It's 10 to 15 games every single day. There'll be highs, there'll be peaks, there'll be valleys and all that stuff. So you have to be centered. I can't stand the first weekend other than being a fan because I'm a handicapper that likes to pick on, let's just say, a good lineup against a bad pitcher or vice versa, a really good pitcher versus a bad lineup. The problem with opening day, guys, is what? We get everybody's ace versus ace in colder weathers where maybe the bats aren't coming around. So buyer beware. If I am looking at tomorrow with a couple of instances where I do think the unders have a legitimate chance, even though some of these are low, like Paul Skeens, one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball last year for Pittsburgh, is lining up against Sandy Alcantara of Miami. In Miami, the ultimate pitcher's ballpark, and two great pitchers. Now, also, understand this. Bullpens are going to blow up. We don't anticipate Pittsburgh and Miami having great bullpens here. And also Alcantara coming back from a elbow injury, as well as starting pitcher Paul Skeens. We don't know if they're going 80 to 90 pitches. Typically, there's a cap on that where they might not see the 7th or 8th inning, so buyer beware. That number is coming in here at 6.5. I think it stays under the 6.5. Another one. I mean, good luck with this. Like, Tarek Skubal was the Cy Young Award-winning pitcher in the American League. It might have been the best overall pitcher in baseball. He's a dog opening day. Why? Because he's taking on Blake Snell. Minus 164 favorite here for the Dodgers, but that total also listed at 6.5. Even though that lineup is ultra powerful for the Dodgers, maybe a first 5 innings because I don't want to leave it up to the Detroit bullpen going up against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And another game late at night, 10 p.m. up in Seattle, one of the better pitchers ballparks in America. Again, Severino and Gilbert, the Athletics versus Seattle. That's a 7. I think it stays under. So early on, particularly opening day, I look more towards unders because, again, it's ace versus ace, not great scenarios.
Definitely understandable. Reload, over to you. I see you're shaking your head in agreement. So what do you like tomorrow, if anything? And what do you predict for this season?
Yeah, same thing here with the unders. I'm with Donnie that's the way to go, especially the first week. It can take a while for the bats to catch up. They can start out a little sleepy here. I did take a look at some games. I like the Cubs Diamondbacks under. It's sitting at 8.5 total. Seems a little too high to start out there. So under 8.5 look good there. And also Twins and Cardinals in the afternoon under 7.5 there in St. Louis. So those are my two picks. Yeah, as far as the season goes, it's like we said a while ago, you really have to keep tabs on everything, keep tabs on lineup changes, injuries, things like that. It's always tough when things start out. I do think you're best going against some of the bigger name teams. It's obviously it's hard to go against the Dodgers. I may not do that, but they're always the marquee teams, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and some of them get off to slow starts. Sometimes it takes a while to get revved up in April. And so I always try to look for spots where maybe the public is on more of a name team. The odds are shifting. You know how baseball is, even the littlest juice shift adds up. A line going from minus 115 to minus 125, and go the other way on it, things like that. So I just try to look for things like that.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, last question for you. Same one. I mean, besides the Yankees, which we know you're going to be all over this season.
Of course, you
what
got to be
else?
all over.
What about the Mets, though?
What about the Mets? New York's second team, But the problem with the Yankees is obviously that they're America's team, and they're always going to be overpriced. Same with the Dodgers. And then if you look at the Pirates tomorrow, Paul Skeens is going to be overbet every single game just because of his name
Paul
and just
Skeens,
because of he's date and live done, so that gives him more social media attention, everything like that. But Donnie and Reload said it right. In the age of pitchers not going 6, 7, 8 innings, it's almost better to bet first 5 rather than bet the full game, because in the first 5 you're betting on the starting pitchers. Yes, you're betting against the starting lineup the first time, the second time around. But you're not relying on the bullpen and that variable, because you could leave a game at 2-0, and then the bullpen comes in, the game ends 4-3, and there goes your 6.5 over under for no reason. Or the game goes into extra innings at 2-2, then it goes 3-3, then it goes 4-3 because the guy starts on second base in the extra inning. So I'm almost looking at trying to bet more first 5 than I'm going to be betting for the full game. I'm going to try that strategy and see what happens. The over under, of course, is even less. So half the game, that 6.5 is 3. So there's more potential for the push there. But that's going to be my strategy for at least the first first couple weeks. I'm going to see how that works out versus betting the full game. And that's the other hard part about live betting is, again, take that 6.5, take that 7. If it's 0-0 in the second inning, now it's 5.5. Then all you need is a 2-run home run. Now that 5.5 goes back to 7. So live betting over under is super difficult unless they score runs early. Then maybe they don't score late. But every half inning they don't score, that number keeps going less and less. And all it takes is a 2-out walk, then a stolen base, then a broken bat looper base hit, and then there's a run out of nowhere. So baseball's funny in that scenario, or just a pass ball. Runner goes to second, he throws it in the center field, he goes to third. So prepare for the bad beats of baseball. We're all excited that baseball's coming back, but I just described 2 ways that easy out, then walk, stolen base, hit, and you're just like, what the hell? No run in the first inning, out, home run, that third batter. And everyone's laughing there because everyone knows that pain of the quick action of the no run in the first inning. So, as much as we're excited, be just as excited for the bad beats that burn your bankrolls and go after the tilt bets.
Thank you, Sammy.
It's like they say on VSiN. They say betting baseball is like whiskey and a revolver. I think it was Nick Bogdanovich that said that.
Yeah,
Nick
there's no time
one
on
of
there.
the bookmakers at Circus said that, and he's right.
Yeah,
I can't count how many things have happened. Yeah, it's
now that we mentioned no run in the first,
just bet half units on these games. Especially
makes sense.
I was with my buddies over the weekend for college, and we're betting first to 10 points. It's just like in a certain atmosphere.
The quick ones. Yep, first to 5, first to 10. Sure. Absolutely.
No run in the first. It's like the quick 10-minute action bet,
Yeah, it's like in hockey with the first period overs or for goal in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
How many people still do those? Wow.
Donnie, let's switch gears here for a minute. Let's talk some football. We got some major trade moves that happened in free agency. Wilson to the Giants, as you mentioned in the opening. Diggs over to the Patriots. So what are we thinking here? You like those moves? You think the teams are gonna go on?
Yeah, I don't know, Bobby. I don't know what the Giants are doing, to be honest, at this point, because now we're seeing that, the smoke screens come out where Abdul Carter might not get past 2, and the draft now starts at 3. Could it be Shedeur Sanders to the New York Giants? And let's just say that comes through, where you draft Shedeur Sanders. There's no way, shape, or form Shedeur Sanders getting drafted by the Giants on that football team, and he has to sit an entire year because you signed Russell Wilson and also Jameis Winston. I don't understand that game plan one iota, because if you draft a rookie, get him out there on the field, get his reps in, and if you're bad next year but think your quarterback is still good, what happens, gentlemen? You get a top 3 pick the next year, and you can use that for more ammunition to help out your young quarterback. So now we're led to believe the Giants, who, again, I think after the Russell Wilson deal, I thought it said, you know what? There's a legitimate chance they can win 6, 7, maybe 8 games with Russell Wilson, which is why that 3.5 line I thought was ridiculous for the Giants. But you can't have it both ways. You're either really bad to get good draft picks with your quarterback. You can't be on the treadmill, as I like to say, 6 to 8 wins here where you never can get up high enough to get your franchise quarterback, and Russell Wilson can win enough games to keep you from doing that. The other move there, Stephon Diggs to the New England Patriots. If you guys have been following along, the most interesting part about the Patriots is they have a ton of money and they spent a ton of money in free agency, but they couldn't get a wide receiver to even approve a trade to come to them with all the money they have, because they're not sure of what type of quarterback they have, even in a young quarterback that they drafted last year. So for me, Stephon Diggs was the big winner here. 3 years, $69 million, which sounds like a lot, but really it was only $26 million guaranteed. He was the winner because nobody would take their money, so they had a lot of money to spend at wideout, and Stephon Diggs got it. We'll see, coming off an injury and aging a bit, if that's going to help them out. But the one thing we do know is, boy, they were talent depleted at wide receiver, and at least they got one in New England.
All righty, thank you, Donnie. Reload, over to you. Same question. What are you looking forward to this upcoming football season, especially with these free agent moves?
Yeah, I'm still trying to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. I know we talked about that a while ago.
Right.
And now with Russell Wilson and the Giants, I'm kind of surprised they ended up going with him in the Giants. But like Donnie keeps saying, it's definitely going to improve the number of wins. I think that's pretty silly that it stayed at 3.5. And even 4.5 doesn't sound right either. That does sound pretty low. I mean, are they going to lose every divisional game and then every game out there? I can't really see that. I still think they're going to have a moment sooner or later in there. They wouldn't be signing these guys. Now, Jameis Winston's no big deal, but hey, we know how he is. He can come off the bench. He could probably he could probably win a game here or there. It's just that he costs you games sooner or later too, which is why they're like, well, we better get somebody else. So they got Russell Wilson.
Right.
That definitely improves things. I don't think it makes them a playoff team, but it definitely makes a few games a little more exciting. And
yes.
That's what I've still been mostly focusing on is, some of these quarterback moves and signings. I think that I read Seattle got Sam Darnold also, or was that just something I forget?
No, they got him. Yep.
They did get him, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another one. It's like, another good landing spot taken over by Sam Darnold. We know some of these moves aren't going to go anywhere.
Right.
Some of these divisions, there's really divisions where like 3 teams in the divisions are all could win it pretty easily. It's just going to be a battle back and forth. It's jockeying for position. It's signing who you can. And then the draft will be interesting too. So there's still a lot to be seen here.
All righty. Thank you, Reload. Sammy, over to you. Same question. What do you make of these trades?
Yeah, and I also saw that Cleveland is looking at Dak Prescott right now a couple hours ago. I don't know how.
Is that really a report?
Yeah. And if Deshaun Watson's on the table, I'm not going to be a Cowboy fan. I'll tell you that much. It's with the Giants, it's good for Malik Neighbors because he's got a quarterback that can throw to him, but it's bad because Wilson's not their 5-year plan. On the other side with the Patriots, it's good for Drake May to be able to have someone to throw the ball, but Diggs isn't going to be, as explosive, as fiery as he was 4 years ago coming off the injury. But I think it's, it's decent. It's got its pros, it's got its cons on each side. I think it's better for the Patriots long-term than it will be for the Giants. But yeah, really, the conversation starts every single week with a move here, a move there, but really it starts to form after the draft, after the that 2 week after the draft is really when you can start looking at some insights and some rosters and the depth charts and really start putting it together.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Reload, let's jump over to you. I know you got some NBA tonight. What do you got, buddy?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shorter card in the NBA tonight. I did go through it. I'm focusing on one game here, and it's the Lakers-Pacers game, which is interesting. This is a rarity for me, but I'm going to take the Lakers as a road favorite, -1.5. I do think they've been struggling the last few games. The Pacers have been pretty hot, winning 5 in a row. So it's one of these, buy low positions, buy low and sell highs kind of thing on the Lakers -1.5. If you look at the rest of their schedule, this really has to be the get right game to me because they go to Chicago tomorrow in a back-to-back. Then it's, I believe it's all Western Conference foes after that. So if they start sliding, you don't want that to really happen. I did say LeBron is day-to-day with a groin injury tonight, but I'm still want to take a chance with the Lakers. The Lakers beat the Pacers last month, even without LeBron, I think, without the good players. So I also like the under in that game, too. It's sitting at 236.5. It's been going up through the day. And I'm also going to take the under 236.5 because, the games in Indiana have gone under this homestand of the Pacers. Gone under. I don't really see a reason for the total rising here. So I'm going to also take the under straight up 236.5. So it's one game with 2 plays in it.
All righty. Awesome. Thank you, Reload. Sammy, over to you. NBA. What do you got tonight, buddy?
The Knicks are playing tonight. But we're staying away from them, though. They got too many injuries right now, and I don't really trust them, but definitely rooting for them. But tonight, going up against the Bucks, they don't have Giannis, they don't have Damian Lillard, so Denver should steamroll all over them at 10.5. I like Boston 6.5 over the Suns, and the Nets 2.5 over Toronto.
All righty, Donnie, NBA tonight. What do you got, buddy?
Yeah, take a look at the Wizards and the Sixers game. Tankathon is in full effect where neither one of these teams wants to win. However, the Sixers are favored and they're at home. I want the Sixers to lose. I don't think they lose tonight to the Wizards. I think they beat them, and I'll lay the 3.5 points. So hold your nose and watch that one. But also the tale of, I guess, The clock this morning, you're looking at a game between the Bucks and the Nuggets. That was -4, -3.5. Oh, look at this. Jokic probably going to sit this one out. Anticipated for tonight. He was upgraded here in the afternoon to questionable. We'll see if he does go. But Giannis Antetokounmpo was supposed to play. He's out tonight. So that line spikes from 4 to 10.5. And probably the Denver Nuggets end up absolutely rolling them in elevation. But the Knicks are in a tough spot tonight. -4.5. They're actually, getting 4.5 at home. However, the Clippers are rested and ready. The Knicks are on a back-to-back. And this one doesn't look good for the Knicks. Liked them last night. Don't like them tonight. I'll take the Clippers at -4.5.
All righty. Thank you, Donnie. And last but not least, Sammy, tennis action. How's the threat looking and what do you got?
Yeah, overall with Indian Wells, I was definitely down over the last couple weeks, but now we got Miami Open. That's been going on for the last week and a half, and I'm pretty much even, 25 and 23, minus a half a unit. So, just playing action over the last week and a half. I did have Arthur Fields plus the 3.5. He just won upset over Zverev. Iga just went down to the world number 140 in an insane upset. She was like plus 1,000. She won in straight sets too, which was, crazy odds for that to happen. And then tonight, I like Dimitrov over Cerundolo, and then Emma Raducanu to keep it close against the American Jesse Pegula. And then, you got Novak Djokovic in action tonight as well.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you very much for that. And guys, as always, thank you for tuning in each and every week to the lobby, and we will see you guys on the forum.
See ya.
See ya.